Hello there, fellow gateballers, and welcome to the next video in our series, which is on Article 14, which is labeled finishing or Agari, as it is known in Japanese. We're going to dive right into it today, but before we do that, we'd like to mention the fact that this channel is proudly supported by Gateball Australia, and the figures that we'll be using today are drawn from the World Gateball Union's publications, in particular the Q&A book. So we'll just describe what a successful finish is. And dot point 1 says a successful finish or agari occurs when an in ball that has already successfully passed through the third gate hits the goal pole. So a ball that has successfully passed through the third gate hits the goal pole. Number 1 dot point under that says a successful finish of a touched other ball as a result of a spark requires that the other ball is set up so that it is not in contact with the goal pole. Right, so I have a little bit of a sketch here. Unfortunately, the Q&A book doesn't have a description of this one, so we just want to ignore the balls. I'm just going to be focusing on the goal pole here. Actually, we might use this little moved X ball. So say that a player was setting up to, he's performed a successful touch, he's made a successful touch, and he's going to set ball X. And in setting ball X under his foot, it is in contact with the goal pole. Ball X has also passed through gate 3. So ball X has passed through gate 3, and in setting ball X for a spark as the other ball, it is in contact with the goal pole. According to this rule, which says a successful finish of a touched other ball as a result of a spark requires that the other ball is set up so that it is not in contact with the goal pole. So in this case, after the spark has been completed, ball X would not be a successful agari ball or deemed to have finished the game and would remain on the court. Dot point 2 says, if a ball that has successfully passed through the third gate is in contact with the goal pole, the ball will be recognized as having successfully finished in the following moves. Now, these are incredibly important because there are several situations in the Q&A which relate to this exact movement, and there are also several situations in the Q&A book which are highlighted, which I highly recommend that you read because I can't go through them all today, mostly because this video will be far longer than it needs to be. Most of them are general knowledge, but I really strongly urge you to go and read the Q&A on this specific rule. But these are the two situations in which should a ball which has passed through the third gate, successfully passed through the third gate, and is in contact with the goal pole. So we're going to pretend ball X here. Ball X has passed through the third gate and is in contact with the goal pole, ignoring everything else. It will be recognized as having successfully finished in the following two situations. Rightio. Number 1. If the stroker whose own ball is in contact with the goal pole strokes that ball. So ball X is in contact with the goal pole. It has successfully passed through gate 3. And the player of ball X is called to stroke. That ball, the moment it is stroked in any direction, whether it be into the goal pole or out of the goal pole or in any direction, remembering that a player cannot refuse to stroke the ball, that ball is considered as successfully finishing or agari. First situation. Number 2, if an in ball makes a valid move to come in contact with the ball that is in contact with the goal pole. Rightio. So ball X has passed through the third gate, successfully passed through the third gate, is in contact with the goal pole, and then a valid move occurs, which remember is any move that is not an invalid move, and it strikes ball X. Ball X successfully finishes the game or agari. And it's as simple as that. Now that's, I will just make a little aside there actually, because there are several situations in the Q&A which describe a valid move in which a ball, any ball, we'll say ball Z here, any ball such as ball Z strikes the goal pole only, and a ball that successfully passed through the third gate, ball X, is moved as a result of the goal pole moving onto it because of the impact of ball Z. The movement of ball Z was a valid move, but the movement of ball X was an invalid move. And although ball X, which was in contact with the goal pole and has successfully passed through gate 3, has moved, it is not considered successfully having finished the game or Agari, and it would be put back in contact with the goal pole. Radio. The very last dot point says, a ball that is successfully finished shall be removed from the field. And that's as simple as it sounds. Once a ball is successfully finished, it is removed from the field immediately. Well, thank you for joining us for our incredibly short video today on finishing or agari. And I will just quickly mention that in Japanese, the word is pronounced agari, and it is not pronounced agari, which is probably the most common pronunciation heard throughout Australia. And it's just a simple change of the accent in the middle of the word. Instead of saying agari, it is agari. Simple as that. We hope to see you on a court sometime soon, and let's play ball.